Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from verse number 39. Kulakshaye pranashandi kuladharma sanadana dharmanashte kulankrudasnam adharma abhibhavadi uda. It is said that by destruction of the family, the eternal family custom is destroyed, and thus the rest of the family becomes predominated by irreligion. So Arjuna is trying to convince Krishna, explaining the material losses if the war takes place. First of all, he says, Kulakshaye pranashandi. Kulakshaya, the dynasty, the customs, the traditional wisdom they have been following since time immemorial. That will be destroyed when the elder member of the family is slain. Now, if the king and the older brother may go to the war, father and older brother, if both die, if the king dies, then the kingdom is without proper king, and the older member of the family dies, then the family become orphan, then they will not know how to re-establish or reset the system, because the older member knows everything about their traditional values. The youngers or the ladies, they just follow them. So all of a sudden, war ensues. If the older member and the oldest son, older member means the father and the oldest son, go to the war, if they were assassinated, then the things will be totally ruined here. When male member is not there in the family or in the kingdom, if there is no king, the rogues and thieves will become powerful. And they go to all the weaker generations and plunder their wealth. Everything they have, the valuables, they take. When there are girls unprotected, when king is died or the older member is died in a family, then these rogues and thieves will take advantage of the ladies as well. So if such things actually happen, O Krishna, what will be the situation? The Sanatana Dharma, which the people were following, will be lost. Now we can see the person who is conquering the new nation, and he start exploiting the resources, the people, the ladies, they allowed. The winning nation is allowed to exploit the resources and the ladies. Nowadays also you can see the US in 60s had a big fight in the eastern side, and after fighting, one of our devotees who were the soldier in that war, Vietnam War, and he was telling, everywhere is the blood and flesh and bone, and the women were exploited, and all the money, wealth were stolen. America was doing that, American soldiers. So basically it's allowed to do. Of course, they could not survive there because China was keep sending their soldiers. So how many soldiers the winning nation killed, the losing nation keep sending more and more people. So therefore, they had to stop the war and go back. So the point is here, the exploitation of the resources and the weaker generation. Not only that, then the conquering nation, when they actually conquer, these people, then they start giving their own philosophy and science and religion. They establish their own religion. We can see about our India, about 6, 7, 800 years, the Mughals ruled. When they occupied this space, they began to exploit the resources and they began to give their own religion. This Islam religion is spread in India because of the Turks attacked India. The Indian Muslims are not coming from any foreign country. Indians or Pakistan Muslims. They are all Indian people. But because they were attacked, this weaker generation were converted into their faith. So in this way, the traditional values, the Sanatana Dharma principles are lost. And there are mixed marriages thereafter. This person marries that person marries this person. So when mixed marriages take place, the man actually follows his own policies. In this way, the forefathers also don't get the Pindadan. So the entire tradition actually falls off. Sanatana Dharma is actually crashed and crushed. Because of that, so many unwanted progenies actually take place. Because the women are forcibly taken and married, beget children in them, and all these kids actually comes, they are mixed here and there, they are confused whether I should follow mother's religion or father's religion. So all these points are very valuable. Arjuna is actually telling all these things happens. What is the use of establishing our empire? Because attacking the country and destroying everything is the one thing. Now, if the conquering nation or winning nation is ready to rebuild the nation that has been destroyed by them, then it may make sense. Just like when George W. Bush went to Iraq war 2 decades ago, the vice president told Mr. President, if you are going to war and destroying that area, it is your responsibility to rebuild and give to them. Make sure the next president or prime minister is actually going to rule, is a capable person that you have to establish. Otherwise, the country will be completely trashed. You cannot just conquer them and kill the leader and come back. And nowadays, everything is a nuclear usage. They use all the nuclear weapons, missiles and machine guns and nuclear radiations actually spreads over. So every field you have to be careful, building enough hospital for people to be treated and food supplies, resources. And they went on year after year after year after year in rebuilding, but they couldn't. They had to walk away from there. Then what is the result? IS popped up. A terrorist group was actually formed. So this is the cause of or outcome of the war. Very bad outcome. So the war can destroy everything. So therefore, why do we want to go? Since we know all these pros and cons of a war, why should we kill these people, O Janardhan? This is Arjuna's argument. Dharma nashte kulam kridasnam. When dharma become destroyed, kulam also will be destroyed. Then what happens? Adharma abhibhavadi uda. The irreligion will be spread all over the place. Irreligion means opposite to the religion. There is worship, here there is no worship. There is book, there may be book, but it may be a small textbook. It cannot actually give the information of God. So when there is God, people become little fearful. If there is no God, it's only going to be atheistic and terrorizing civilization going to be, especially the male member predominated or dominated by irreligious sentiment, and they just go and harass the weaker generation. So how we can establish religion by having this war? Because this is what going to happen. So he was thinking aftermath of the war, what is going to be. I am foreseeing, and these people are fools. They always were greedy after our empire. They have no idea. So what they are going to do, what they are doing. But we have idea, and you are the supreme person, advented to establish the religion. But the way that you are actually planning is going to be irreligion prevailing all over the place. So therefore, my dear Madhav, my dear Krishna, my dear Shama, Madhava, you are the husband of goddess of fortune, right? And you have all opulences unlimitedly. So you can prevent this war and make people nourished by your transcendental appearance. So this is my humble request. So in this way, Arjuna was trying to convince. Now, when a party is trying to fight to establish the irreligion, what will happen to that country? Already irreligion taking place. Therefore, Lord actually brought these Pandavas to kill all of them, establish the religion. Now he is telling, fighting on the religious sentiment, if the destruction happens to all over the country, the outcome he just read out. But he doesn't know, by letting them rule, what is going to happen. The Lord wants to kill them, establish the religion. Arjuna doesn't want. But Arjuna doesn't know, by simply leaving them, not fighting with these people, just let them go, and how they are going to rule rest of their life, because they are already religious. And things are going to be worse or better by not fighting. So that will be discussed. So when adharma takes place, the permitted adharma, what is going to be the outcome? But here, re-establishing is going to take time. But the religion is already established here. And what is going to be on the road? By killing all these people, irreligious people, now we have to establish the religion. That is also going to take some time. So Arjuna is reading out these consequences. And Krishna is thinking about, if we allow these people to rule, what will be the consequences? Already happened so many bad things. And if we still empower them to continue their nonsenses, what is going to be the outcome? So that is what Krishna's point. That will be discussed on the road, means tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.